Hey, what's up, Facebook? This is your girl, Rachel. I am so excited. Today. You know, this is a segment of Keeping It Real with Rachel Riles. And I'm excited because the month of May, we've been spotlighting and honoring mothers and what they do. We've got a great broadcast coming up right now, and glad you all can join us. Tell your friends, your family, your neighbors, whomever. Y'all want to check this one out because this is a real special one today. This is a really special one. And I have a mother, and my mom is like no other mother. This woman, you know, she has her degree. She is just celebrated her, she's going to kill me for saying this, her 76th birthday. The girl is off the chain. And so when I look at moms and what they have to do and go through and endure, sometimes walking in the shadows of their mate, the whole 9 yards. You know, one of the things I have said in the past that, ladies, check this out. Those of you who are married and those of you who contemplate marriage, men don't define us. They simply compliment us, you know, and we've got to remember that. But the person that I have with me today, I'm so excited. I first have to say this. Y'all know how I am with my faith. I believe that God navigates all of our plans because of the destiny He's already predestined for us in life. So I met this young lady a couple of weeks ago and walked into this place and was thinking, nah, I'm not going to say anything to her. I said, why not? Go on and say it. You know, so I spoke to her. I read her bio and I spoke to her. And she's here today. And I know y'all saw some of y'all seen the advertisement and everything. But I'm just so excited. I want to welcome for the first time with KIRC Talk Radio, Miss CleRenda McGrady. What's up, lady?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm just tickled. Thank you so much.
Y'all really have to see her. She is such a down-to-earth girl. Beautiful, I may add, too.
Well,
beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Wow.
And you are quite lovely yourself.
Oh. Hey, I'll accept that. Thank you. I know Melvin believed that too, y'all.
34 years, he believes something about you.
There you go. Something. I love it. But, you know, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with listeners and the world, whoever's listening right now, because we're a worldwide network. But thank you for the opportunity. Number one, because I know, just look, having email back and forth, I know you're a busy person. But taking the time out to share your story, that's one of the things that my pastor had been talking about during this season of Easter, where, you know, things have changed over time, and resurrection means one thing to one person, another, something to another person. But he said, in this day and time, our story is what matters, you know, and that our story should be shared because somebody out there may be listening and may pick up on something that can change their life just for having heard that. So with that being said, who is CleRenda McGrady?
Oh, wow. Who am I? Well, as cliche as it may sound, first of all, I am a daughter of the King.
Hey.
I serve a mighty God, and you know, that is my identity. I'm a child of God first and foremost. After that, I am a wife to a pretty amazing man, and I am a mother of four absolutely amazing and perfect as they can be kids.
I love that, as they can be.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. She's also an educated woman. I was reading your bio, and I think we share a little bit in common. I believe the master's degree is in education.
It is.
Yeah. You know, I was briefly just mentioned I have a master's in curriculum and instruction. So, you know, this was not my first love. And entertainment has always been a part of me as far back as I can remember, just doing something in front of somebody. You know?
Somebody gonna see me.
Yes. And when I read your bio and the things that you've accomplished, you know, a lot of people will say, let's get this one thing out, because this is about you, but I'm going to mention who you're married to, and then we'll go from there. But I met you a couple of weeks ago, and who was sitting behind me, my daughter first recognized because she's a basketball player. She said, Mom, that's Tracy McGrady. And I was like, where? You know, she said, right there. And I, you know, looked over my shoulder, didn't want to show that, you know, I'm doing the groupie thing, so I look, and there he is, and then I was like, wait a minute. So then, this must be his wife.
It better be.
You know? So, no. And with that being said, Let's talk about you first. We're going to talk about you as a woman, you know, the person who came along. I don't know if marriage was even in the cards for you. That's something you believed in the beginning. Growing up, you grew up where?
I grew up in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. As we speak, we were just sharing about North Carolina, but okay. Grew up in North Carolina. So what were your dreams? What were the things you wanted to do?
You know, I knew that I would get married and have a family.
You did?
Yeah, I definitely wanted that. I grew up with my mom and dad for the most part, and my siblings, and so family is important. I come from a very small family, so yes, I knew that I wanted that. I also knew that I wanted my own independent life as well, but you know, I really thought that I would be a veterinarian. That was my original.
Really?
That was my original love, was something to do with animals. Yes, ma'am. But so yes.
Yeah. Oh, so animals didn't take place.
Not in the form of
Not like that.
They still sprinkled around, but
wow.
Yes, but yeah. So that sort of evolved, and that's okay. But that was my original dream. I want to be a veterinarian just because I loved animals. We were always surrounded by animals. That's what I did in my playtime. While other kids were doing normal stuff, here I am with my siblings looking up under rocks for snakes and frogs and all kind of creepy crawly things. Yes. So.
Wow. That's amazing. Y'all look at her now and you would say, did you really?
Oh yeah. It's funny, my kids are doing the same thing. I look at them laughing now, like, look at them looking at those rocks looking for snakes and stuff. So yeah.
You know, when we talk about the woman, CleRenda, going off to school, college, you did the normal things that college girls do, I would assume, you know, just enjoying college life.
Yeah, I did. However, I was a little different, and I don't mean that in a good way. I've always enjoyed just my solitude, and I also have always been okay with being, quote unquote, a little different.
Okay.
And so, don't get me wrong, I went to college, I went to the parties.
Okay.
But I found myself quite often the one staying in my dorm. I just didn't feel like it. And I was okay with not conforming, you know.
Wonderful.
So I would also go to some parties, but not drink and partake. And again, I'm not trying to make myself seem like I was better than everybody else, but it was just, I didn't mind being the weird one or the odd one. It didn't faze me. I could be there and not partake. And I was cool with that. And so that's one of the main things I try to teach my girls, like, you know what? As you get older in life, you may be the quote-unquote odd one out, and that's okay. So I'm teaching them the importance of not conforming. It's okay to still be you and do you, and you can still have fun. I mean, I still had fun at the parties. I may not have been sloppy drunk and throwing up and acting a nut, but I had fun.
That's it. See? And I know people, our listeners, they're listening, and you said something very, very powerful for young girls or even young mothers right now who are listening. It's okay.
It's okay.
You know, you don't have to do what everybody else does. You don't have to be like everybody else. Do you? That's what I used to say.
Absolutely.
You know? I think that's great as a young woman growing up. You obviously, look, the looks are there. She's beautiful. I'm sure you had your run of people guys trying to talk to you the whole 9 yards, you know. How did you handle that?
Handle that growing up as you know what, everything really goes back to upbringing. And so again, the importance, and I'm going to answer your question, but the importance of parenting and the foundation that you instill and what you represent as a parent and your expectations, those things matter. And so again, wasn't perfect, but again, I just really wasn't into the boy craze thing.
Wow.
You know, I had a boyfriend from high school, and for the most part, well, my first couple years in college, you know, I still had that boyfriend, and then when we broke up, I just wasn't into the boy thing. Again, I don't want to come on here and sing like I am Miss Perfect. Was not perfect, but I just wasn't into the boy thing.
That's a good thing. It's okay.
Yeah, and you know, I don't have this. Yeah, I'm not even. I don't want to say something like that. But that just really goes back to just a foundation. You know, the foundation that my mom and dad set, and just those expectations, and just a certain level of standard. And again, I'm going to stress, was not perfect. But again, I just didn't feel the need to do the whole boy crazy thing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I had my one little boyfriend, and for the first couple years, and maybe dated, went out to movies or whatnot with another guy in college later. But that was really, I just,
God already had it. And that is great. That says a lot, because I too, I had my father was my pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with both parents in the home. Strict.
Yeah.
And they did everything. When I say everything right, when I look back at it, they did everything right. I had choices to make, and I made some choices, and that's why I was married at 16. But I'm still married to that guy. Daddy said the one you married. No, Daddy said the one you sleep with.
Yeah.
Better be the one you married. Hello. He's in the room here, y'all. Y'all know me, right? It's all good. But I'm glad to hear that it's the upbringing. And I'm not saying this. Y'all know that I look at one parent and two parents the same way, because my mother had to be a one parent when my father passed away.
Yeah.
And bringing up my sister and brother younger. So that's not necessarily it. It's just like CleRenda said, it's the upbringing. It's what they instill in you.
Yeah, and again, let me go back, because the one I slept with was not the one I married. So I'm just trying to say, I'm not creating a picture as though, some fantasy thing. No. The one I slept with was not the one I married. However, I don't have the experience of running wild, put it like that.
Wonderful.
I just don't. And again, my mom and dad, they got divorced when probably I was in middle school. And but again, it was a strong foundation that was already set.
That's the key.
It was set, and there was there was just a level of, there is no way I can get caught up in XYZ, because I can't come home and look at my mom and dad in the face, especially my daddy. I may not make, I just may have a short life,
See?
So it really was with him. It was a little bit of, it was definitely respect, but there was some fear in there. I feared my daddy straight up.
There you go. And believe it or not, I don't know if that's happened in your home today with your children, but I know that's how we were brought up. And it is what it is. Y'all, we're not, like she said, not trying to make it appear as though we were perfect. God knows I wasn't, and I know the things I did. And we're going to fast forward that, okay? But becoming the woman, I'm listening at how this person evolved as a woman, your belief system, your foundation, and it leads us to today. Yeah. So then we get married.
We get married. And we get married, not my ideal way, not the way that I was raised to believe. We had kid out of wedlock, and that was in my family, that was taboo. That was, and so that was a hard conversation to present to my mom and my dad. That was rough, because it was like, you don't do that.
Really?
But I did that, and so it's just one of those things that happen. You learn and you keep it moving.
Yeah. And see, we're keeping it real. So, a lot of times people may look at you and then they see this beautiful person on the outside and just have all these preconceived notions about who you are your whole life. I bet she's never had it difficult in life. Look at her. She's got it easy. She's got this. She's got that. But just listening to you just saying, that's what drew me to you. I said, gosh, she's really down to earth.
Yeah, no, nothing was easy. I've lost both my parents at this point. They have gone on to glory and shining down, looking down from heaven. But no, the words ring in my ears from my dad. He would always say, you got to earn your keep.
Wow.
And so we earned our keep. Even as kids, when we went on our vacation, which looks a lot different from our vacation that we have with our kids now, we would go to this particular place each summer. We would drive there, but throughout the year, our dad had us to save our money. And if you didn't save a certain amount, you were threatened you're going to get left behind. So his thing was, you're going to contribute. Everything we did in our household was, you got to earn your keep. You got to contribute. And so even we would always go to this big this festival thing, and his thing was, even if you contribute with the parking, that's the money that you guys are going to save for the parking for our 7 days there. All together, you guys are going to be responsible for the parking. And so everything with us was about, you got to earn your keep. You got to wash these dishes, clean this house, And you didn't come home, he didn't come home from work, and we were just sort of lounging, chilling. It was like, no, I come home, this place going to be, it was just a different standard. It was a different level of what's going to take place. And you didn't even consider not doing it.
I totally understand. I hated washing dishes. That's why my two older sisters, they already know. They wash dishes. my specialty was cleaning the restroom, but I had to do it.
Yeah.
I had to do it, and it was not easy, but I do understand
Yeah.
those responsibilities were there
yeah.
for us to develop our character, to develop who we are,
Absolutely.
and that's what it's come to be. And I'm so excited about knowing that here's another person that, yeah, we don't see as much of it unless you came up with that upbringing. Not likely that it was going to spill over into your own family, you know, but because you had that, I'm sure, would you say today that some of the same values your parents instilled in you, it kind of crossed over into your family as well?
Absolutely. Before I came here, I dropped off my older daughter to a friend's house, and she knew you weren't going to go until these dishes are done, you know. And, you know, there's just certain things. ABC has to happen before
That's
X,
right.
Y, Z, and that's just the way it is. And yes, they have a much different lifestyle than I have, but you know, it's very important for me to keep them grounded,
Yeah.
to instill humility, because I don't know what your life is going to end up like. And even if you do live a certain lifestyle, you need to always have these basics. You need to always know how to do these things, even if later, you know, you are afforded the opportunity to have someone else do it for you. You need to always know how to do everything.
That's it. That's it.
You know,
that
and
is the
so,
key.
Yeah.
And my brother said today, the mama taught him how to cook, you know.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that another day. Because you don't know who you're going to marry,
You don't,
right?
you don't know, and yeah, it's important because it just develops character.
It does.
It
really
it weeds out that entitlement attitude, and there's a lot of entitlement in today's generation, and that really doesn't even have to come from because I have a certain lifestyle. It's just entitlement, regardless of you know, it's just entitlement.
Yeah.
That someone owes me something, or I don't have to do that because of whatever. And
Right.
so, you know, that's a pet peeve of mine because.
Oh, that's good.
That's
I mean,
a
well,
real pet peeve.
then your children will grow up and understand that, as you just said, nobody's going to be lazy.
Yeah.
Nobody believes that everybody owes you. No,
Yeah.
and that's the millennium today. And,
Yeah.
you know, believing that somebody owes them something. And
Yeah.
well, it is what it is. It's just, you know, it's made it difficult for this generation. It really has.
Yeah, it is because there's so much access and excess
Yeah.
to everything. And so our project manager and I, we were talking on the way here, you know, you have to be able to set some ground rules, and you can't let these kids have everything too soon. There's nothing to work forward to. There's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
If you get everything right now, that's how people start getting into these weird obsessions and stuff because, hey, I've seen it all, I've done it all, I have it all.
Right.
So let me just go into this fantasy world and create some mess to
I
get
like
into.
the way you said, go into a fantasy world, y'all. And she's saying that, and you know, it is the truth. That's what we see nowadays. I want to change direction a little bit. We talked about you as a woman growing up, and we've even talked a little bit on parenting. But let's move into the wife role. And how does that wife role contribute to you as a parent also? Because, you know, we're talking about mom. We're talking about mom. Mom is a wife, but she's also a mom. How do you handle the two in your day-to-day life?
Well, for me, sometimes, although I'm a wife and I am mom, I also sometimes have to be dad.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do tell. What do you mean when you say?
Well, my husband travels a lot.
Okay, gotcha.
And so oftentimes, you know, he travels a lot, and in the past, he has had to have been away for quite a long time.
Okay.
And so therefore, you know, as a mother, you're a nurturer, you're caring, you know.
Yeah.
And so I have to go in between being nurturing and caring and all of that, and being real firm and disciplinarian as well. And so you have to jump in and out of these roles, and, you know, so my kids have to respect me in a different level. Oftentimes, kids will respect and will respond to the male much differently than the female. You know, for me, at the end of the day, the stuff is going to get done with my kids. You have no choice. But I may have to say it extra 2 or 3, 4 times. With hubby on board, you said that first time, boom, it's done. You know, so for me, it has to go in between this thing of being mom, the nice one, and being nurturing, and then really being able to crack the whip as well.
Wow.
And still demanding. You know, well, really, I'll say commanding is the difference. Commanding that respect level.
And being mom and trying to do that other role, that's a little challenge sometimes.
It is.
You have boys?
I do have boys. I have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Woo.
And my kids are very strong-willed.
Oh, they
Very
are.
strong-willed kids. And, you know, sometimes people look at that as a negative. I welcome that. I'm grateful that God created them that way because like I tell them, I appreciate your strong will. I think it's awesome because one day in life it's going to serve you well to have that strong will and that firm stance. But as long as you're in this house right now, we're going to have to shape it and mold it and massage it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Got you.
And so I can appreciate a strong will because I know that a strong will allow you to make a stand for something that's important. A strong will keep you from veering into wrong paths and getting with wrong company.
Wow, that says a lot. You know, I know children have their own identities, and what we're hearing today is some people are deciding about their identities. That's a whole different can of worms. But, you know, as a mom, how much of a role do you play in guiding your children into, pointing them in a specific direction? Is that something you and your husband do, or y'all just let them choose whatever they want to do, and however
You
they
saw
want to do
my
it?
eyes were looking up like, what does she mean? What role? That is the role. What other role? That is the
Well,
role.
you know, there today
Yeah.
we have the parents who say, you know, more liberal in their views about let your children decide who and what they want to do.
No, ma'am.
No?
I am. You know, I'll tell you this story real quick. My mom, when I graduated from, I don't know if it had to have been high school, I believe. She gave me a Bible for a gift, and I always joke and say, a decade later when I decided to open it, the only thing that she highlighted, in all the verses, she highlighted Proverbs 22:6.
Oh, wow.
Train up a child in the way that he should go, so when he is older, he will not depart from it. And that just sticks with me, you know, and I just truly believe that as parents, we have the power to reshape the next generation. It's on us. And, you know, that is sort of, I base everything I do off of that. You know, I just came up yesterday with an event that I hosted, Girls Who Push, and it was a mom and teen, a mom and daughter event. And the whole thing is just really to stress the importance of the role that we play.
Yeah.
You know, we have a small window of opportunity to get in there and to shape and mold and lay the foundation.
Right.
And you want to be able to do everything you can and before that window closes. And I just believe as parents, particularly as moms, we have so much power and authority and influence over our children. And I don't really think we exercise it to the level that we could and that we should, because too many parents are too busy trying to be homey and trying to be friend and being a parent.
Yes.
And that's when we get into the situation of the kids ruling or parents, why I can't do this, he won't. No, what you mean he won't? Yeah, he will. You know, so I just feel like that we give our kids too much liberty, and I don't agree with that, because I will never forget when I was a kid. I remember standing in the backyard and talking to my dad, and I won't use the word he used. I know I wasn't acting up. We didn't really act up. It was too much fear. But I don't know why he told me this, but he looked at me and he said, I am not your blank friend. I am your parent. Your blank people, I won't use words. You know, but the point is, he was stressing, I'm not your friend. I am your parent. I'm your father, and don't ever get that mixed up. And I'm like, yes, sir, Commander. You know what I mean? And so I sort of take that same stance with my kids. I love you beyond I would ever be able to express. And, you know, I'm going to always be there for you. But there is a fine line between being their homie and their friend and being mama. And so it's just important. And I see, you know, that was one of the reasons that I wanted to create this event that I did yesterday. One of the highlights of the event, we did a little fashion show segment. And we had the thumbs up girls and the thumbs down girls. And the thumbs up girls, they came out and they were being the example of what it looks like to be appropriate, you know. And we had 4 different looks. But then the thumbs down girls, they came out and showing what we see a lot of today. And these are girls from age 12 to 17. And, you know, you'd be surprised. I'm surprised at how I'm seeing these young girls dress these days.
Wow.
And what the crazy thing about these were all 12 and 13-year-old girls. You're supposed to come the nice, you know, outfit on a dinner or church type attire. And a couple girls, I was like biting my tongue, like, what? Did you really walk up in here with that club dress on?
Wow.
I mean, too short, too tight, and cut low. And then I'm like, where is your mama? And you look over and the mama is with them. And that's the problem. It's not always the kids. The root of it is the parents.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there is no way at 12 years old, 13 is the oldest you could have been, that you should have walked up in here with that dress on and them big old clumpy heels on. Too much. But the problem is, it was the parent. The parent allowed that. And you're seeing so much of that, and it goes back to the basic. It goes back to home. Somebody let you out looking like that.
True.
And again, it goes back to that access and excess too soon. At 12 and 13 years old, there is no way you should be looking like that. What are you going to want to do when you're 17 and 18?
Good. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm listening in amazement, because I'm saying, wow, this is coming from this young woman of the millennium, so to speak, and you have those views, and I commend you for it. And you know, with stress to other parents, this is something that you may want to, you know, as you're listening to this, and by the way, we will be rebroadcasting this, and we'll let you know when. I'm going to shift gears a little bit more, because I heard you talking about your event. I saw the event, and what is it that CleRenda does? Because she's an entrepreneur, y'all. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Right now, my main focus is being a speaker, inspirational speaking, as well as creating events, and I call them more or less experiences. I guess some people look at them as conferences. I don't really like that word. A conference is sometimes like, oh my gosh, another, you know, but an experience lasts a lifetime. What we did yesterday, those girls and moms will remember that 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, because it's an experience, and I like to create the atmosphere and the environment for an experience. And so what we did yesterday, it was impactful. It changed lives. It changed the dynamics of mother-daughter relationships. And I had so many moms tell me, you know, I've never had this experience with my daughter, a one-on-one time where it was just us to bond, to just to connect. And so right now it's really about just putting on impactful and life-changing experiences.
Oh, that's wonderful. One of the things I read when I was reading some of the things that you were doing, you have, I know not the project, but the event yesterday was one, but I believe there's something that's called, tell me a little bit about Push, because I was reading that you have a prayer line or something like that.
Okay, well, so first of all, my brand is Project P.U.S.H.
Project P.U.S.H.
And P.U.S.H. is an acronym. It stands for Purpose-Led, Unstoppable, Success-Bound, and Hope-Filled.
Oh, okay, I'm a part. How do I become a member?
Well, you can start with your annual dues.
All
no,
right. I love it. I love it.
And so really it's something that, you know, those are adjectives that we all are striving to become and to become more of each day. And so really the whole idea behind this whole word of push, it really just derives from the belief. I believe that as women that we are all pregnant, Rachel. We are pregnant with something. We're pregnant with dreams and ideas and a purpose and all these things we carry around with us. But oftentimes we don't go forth and push and give birth to that thing.
We don't go forward and push. I love it.
I think that God has given each of us a plan. There's a purpose in the heart for all of us. But oftentimes we succumb to fear, to insecurity and doubt. And we're fearful to go forth and push and give birth to that thing. And so we just sort of remain pregnant and miserable. And we scale back to option B, C, or D, which may be good things, but it's not the thing that God had originally gave to us. And so oftentimes, that's why so many times people are, even with a good career or a good job, something is just missing. I don't know if you've ever felt that, where there's an inner tug and you have a void and you know, on paper, I got a good life, but something is just missing. And oftentimes it's because we're not fulfilling that purpose, that God-given purpose. And so for me, that's what Push was all about. That was really my story. On paper, ooh, I got a good life. I'm doing it. But really on the inside, I'm like struggling with this void and these tugs and nudges of, okay, there's something more, there's something bigger. And so it was until then, I had to sort of just tap into that. And so that's really with this whole idea of Project P.U.S.H. And with that, just creating these different events and platforms up under Project P.U.S.H.
Project P.U.S.H. So does the prayer line?
So up under Project P.U.S.H., the prayer line, Push and Pray, is a component up under that. So Project P.U.S.H. is the overall umbrella. There's different entities up under that. And so each Monday we have a prayer line, and what I love about this is it's only 15 minutes.
Okay.
It is 6:45 a.m. to 7 o'clock Central Time. And, I had someone go, why is it so short? And I'm like, well, if it was any longer, would you join? We are
know
in
us,
that.
right?
Yeah, I know y'all. No, I'm saying.
You're right.
And so the thing is, though, oftentimes, because we're in this microwave society, we want everything quick, fast, in a hurry. And if it's not, we just sort of bypass it. But, 15 minutes is palatable. People can digest that. And it's more appealing. And so in those 15 minutes, and I always joke and say, it's probably going to be the most 15 minutes of your day, the most powerful 15 minutes of your day. People are able to get on, listen to a word. I have different leaders lead, and we share, they may share a 10, 12-minute devotional word or thought, and then those last few minutes is in prayer. And it really is sort of life-changing. There are people that are joining the line who would never be a part of a prayer line, but because it's 15 minutes, I can do this.
They can.
Yeah.
That was smart. Because people, time is money. I always say that. Time is money. Time is money. And so if you can make the most powerful moment out of a short period of time.
Yeah. And you can do that as you're getting your kids ready, driving them to school, cooking breakfast, whatever it is. You just, because you don't have to participate. You don't have to, someone's like, well, do I have to say something? No, you don't have to say anything. Just dial in and listen.
That's wonderful. I love it. So being an entrepreneur, we talked about being a mom, being a woman, being a wife, being a mother. What do you do? I'm getting back to this woman. What do you do for relaxation? To just your me time? What is
Girl, I know you. I'm still trying to figure it out. I know, seriously. But I'm going to tell you what I did this morning. I haven't done in 20 years.
20 years.
I tell you what, when you haven't been blessed, I'll say, with a creative mind, it is constant, nonstop of what's next. How can I take this and turn it into this? Or I'm constantly getting downloads of things to go forth and birth. A lot of the things I'm doing now are things that were downloaded into me a year or 2 or 3 ago. And so and even now, things that are being downloaded into my spirit now, won't necessarily do these things tomorrow or the next day. They probably won't really be birthed until, I don't know, until another season. So it's constant downloads. I know that God is just sort of saying, okay, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, okay, Lord, just push the pause button. But to get back to your question, I really don't find that time, the relaxation time that I need. And it's crucial. But I tell you what I did this morning. So let me go back real quick. I heard my kids clowning me last week. They were in our pantry and they were like joking on me. They didn't think I heard. They were like, look at this pantry. I'm sort of I'm a sort of a health nut as much as I can be. And I get it. My kitchen and my pantry is not tricked out with all the latest and greatest stuff that kids like. So my kids were in the pantry saying, look at this pantry. I mean, tuna, oatmeal, almonds, nuts. You go to other people's pantry, they got Fruit Loops and Captain Crunch and cookies. And I'm like, oh, no, they not. So I'm just sitting there listening. Look at my daughter over there laughing. So I go in there and I'm like, excuse me. And they're like, oh, nothing. We didn't say anything. So I thought I was surprised. And so the next day I went and I loaded up on stuff that, as they say, normal people have in their pantry. So I got some Captain Crunch and all that stuff. So anyway, this morning I said, you know what? I'm going to eat me some Captain Crunch.
You did.
And for me, it was sort of relaxing because yesterday was it was a tense day, this event that we have been building up to. So this morning, I ate me some Captain Crunch. And you know what? You laugh at that, but it's those small things. The Bible says, do not despise the small things. It's the small things. And that bowl or 2 or 3, actually I think it was 4, of Captain Crunch, I found so much comfort in that. I'm like, wow. I've been depriving us.
You've been depriving yourself.
I'm depriving the kids and myself.
Oh, wow.
You never know what a little bowl of Captain Crunch can do. So I'm like, okay.
Did the kids partake? Did they have some too?
They did.
They did. So they don't normally get like Captain Crunch Fruit Loops? I bet they were in hog heaven.
They were in Captain Crunch heaven. Fruit Loop heaven.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not okay. So it's okay every now and then.
Every now and then. I tell them, when y'all better eat slow, because when this box run out, that's it. Nah.
So wait a minute, girl. You just said, I asked you about what your me time was.
Captain Crunch. That's sad. That's my me time. Sitting down at the counter with some Captain Crunch cereal berries.
I have heard a number of things.
Drinking the milk out the bowl.
Did you have almond milk?
I did. I sure did.
Oh, I'm through. Wait, do the kids have to drink almond milk, or they can do the?
But you know what? You just just, they don't realize they're missing it. That's just what we've always had.
That's great.
That's milk.
I'm not a milk drinker. Look, I'll get some almond milk in a smoothie, but even when I eat cereal, the milk is still in the bowl. I'm eating all the cereal. So I understand I'm not a milk drinker anyway, but no, that's good. Okay, that's your moment of
It is. Well, I would tell you, a good friend of mine, she invited me on Monday to meet her for lunch and go do a massage. And I was like, oh, you know what, I got some stuff to do, I'm busy. I'm like, you know what? Get your butt on. Go ahead on. Yeah. So I'm going to meet her, and I'm looking forward to that because I honestly, if that's one downfall, I don't take enough time, me time. If I'm, if it's not stuff I'm doing for myself personally, for my family, for my kids, it's just, I don't take that time.
And that's what I'm learning in life as I'm maturing. That is so important. Even if it's 5 minutes, so, my me time, my husband will probably say, for me, because everybody who knows me, I'm always doing something. Yeah. It's like if I'm not doing something, I'm being lazy. And Daddy said, no, you rest when you die, So I have to be doing something. And I just took a moment yesterday to go and get a pedicure. I just took the time, okay, let me just do this. And so where I go, they give, I can say this on the air, right? You get your glass of wine or whatever. So I just chill for about 30, 45 minutes. And sometimes those are the most important moments because I can meditate, focus on other things. And like you said, the Holy Spirit a lot of times is, if you don't get by yourself, so the Holy Spirit can download those things for you. Yes, indeed. I'm listening at you talking. This is not quote unquote a religious program, but it is what it is. If our lives have been shaped by, I believe that God is who He is. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Yes. Somebody else may not believe that, and that's okay. That's them, But that's how my life has been shaped. Yes. And I'm listening to you, and I kind of got the feeling that's the same thing for you.
I'm a firm believer that my life is shaped and molded by my belief in a God, in the God that is Jesus Christ, who was brought here on earth in flesh and who died and who rose again 3 days later. Wow. And, I'm very firm on that. I have friends that, they believe what they believe, and many people believe in this Jesus figure as a good man, and he was awesome, and he was a prophet, and he died, but it stayed right there. Yeah.
But, see, y'all, did you hear? She preaching now, y'all. She preaching, y'all hear?
But and that's okay. I respect and love everyone, but for me and my household, we will serve the Lord.
Praise God. Yeah. I love it.
And that's my foundation for my mom and dad. That was critical in my household, and it's critical, and that was critical in my household then, in my household now. It's just, it awesome. Is what it is. I mean,
I love it. I love it. We've talked about the woman. We've talked about the wife. We've talked about the mother. She mentioned she had some siblings. And as we're, thank you all for hanging in there with us and things. But, we're going to be coming to a close in a few minutes. But aside from that, I was reading something about, it wasn't the project. It wasn't, and my thoughts just escaped me. That's okay. We're going to move on. It'll come to me as I'm sitting here doing. I didn't forget things, but it's all good. No, tell us a little bit about, I know that y'all live here in Houston. Now, and then this kind of goes to your husband. Yeah. Playing ball. You're no longer playing ball. Y'all stayed here. Yeah. But you said you're from, I'm not sure, your husband is from there too, right?
No, he's from Florida, actually.
Really? Yeah. I didn't know that. Why did I think, did he play college? Where did he play ball?
He didn't play college. He went to high school. So.
Okay, I'm messing up over here. I know I should be consulting my husband on this. Okay, see, he's talking in the background. Okay, he was one of the ones to go straight from high school to pro. Yeah. Get out of here. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so when all of that was over, y'all stayed in Houston. Is it something? Well, I say Houston, in the area. What made you stay here?
Oh, I love Houston. For one, I'm not one to bop around. Once I get my feet sort of planted, this is it, baby, we staying. And so, it's just where our family is here. We, our kids, it was just no reason to move. It really wasn't. And then really, the majority of his career was here in Houston. We didn't really have anything to go back to, so to speak.
Okay.
The majority of his career was here.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
So it just, this was home.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It was something. It had something to do with how you made. How long have y'all been married? If I can ask.
We've been married 10 years. We were together quite a while before that.
Really?
10 years, yeah.
Okay, so I can. Here's I call celebrity mom, celebrity wife. And how do you handle the groupies? I gotta ask that question. How do you handle that?
You know what? This is gonna sound really passive. I don't. What are you? The only person you can handle is yourself.
Because you are just that woman who's secure. Y'all, that's what I'm talking about. Look at her. Can you see all of this? Does she have anything to be concerned? The woman is secure in herself. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and let me clarify that. I don't mean that I'm like, look, I'm not losing any sleep wondering
Go,
what's
girl,
going on. Because,
speak.
At the end of the day, the only person you can control is yourself and who you are.
I love it.
And again, when you are that focused on your hubby and what he's doing and where he's going, you lose yourself. You lose your identity. You lose the purpose that you're supposed to be here for, because your identity then becomes his identity. And again, I have experienced that from the perspective of, for so long, I was just T-Mac's wife, Tracy McGrady's wife. We'd go somewhere and they wouldn't even address me by my name. It'd be T-Mac's wife. I'm like, what?
Wow.
And so, but anyway, oftentimes, particularly in this lifestyle, women, if even women that are educated, that have something to offer, you can easily get caught up in your husband's identity, and that's not a knock on women. It's just it happens. It happened to me, where you just become so and so's wife. And your confidence in who you are is sort of just, it's just sort of decreased. And all of a sudden, mentally, you're like, oh, I guess that's who I am. You forget about your own dreams, your own hopes, your own desires. You just all of a sudden conform to this idea, oh, I'm just T-Mac's wife. Until one day, the Holy Spirit speaks and goes, girl, you better wake it up. You a little bit more than that. You a lot more than that.
Yes, indeed.
And that happened to me. But as far as this whole groupie thing, I'm here to told you, not tell you, told you. I don't get caught up in that drama. My husband knows me. I'm not the one I've got too much going on for me. I've got my own stuff. I've got my kids. I have my household. I have my husband. I just can't worry about whatever. And this is not from a celebrity status. Because you can be Jenny married to the plumber and have those same issues. So many people think that, once you become the wife of a whoever, whatever. No, infidelity is real. And that's not, it's no respecter of person. Not just because if you're a celebrity or wife of a celebrity. No, you can be Joe Blow and have issues. And so whether you're Joe Blow's wife or the president's wife, you can't get caught up in what he's doing.
Wow.
The same way a hubby can't get caught up in what the woman is doing. When you're firm in your identity, my thing is regardless what, you just can't be shaken, because no matter what happens, I am my own person, and I know I serve a God that's going to take care of me. So certain things I just don't stress out about.
Ooh.
However, I do believe that as women, women can be disrespectful.
Certainly.
And I appreciate it. I believe it was you at that event I met you at. Even though it didn't matter, I don't know if it was you or not, but someone came up to me and said, hey, I wanted to see if I could take a picture with your husband. I'm like, sure, go for it. And they were like, I just wanted to ask you first. And I appreciate that, because most people, they don't ask, and that's okay, but there's a certain level, it's a difference between I'm here with him and you're just going to come and cut in front. No, we're not going to do that. I'm not stressing about Becky with the good hair. But I'm also, there's a certain level of respect.
Yes,
there's a certain level of respect whether, someone's husband is the king of the hill or someone's husband is Joe Blow who's picking up trash in the corner. You still have to respect people's marriages and you just can't, marriages are sacred, and and women sometimes can get this idea, this fantasy that you can just be disruptive in someone's marriage. You can just sort of, no, you can't do that. And I'm just the person where, even with my own girlfriends, when I go to their homes, if their husband's not there, I'm just very respectful. I'm not the one that, if I'm there and I know your hubby's there, there's a certain level, where I have to respect him as your husband, and I don't ever want there to be just an inkling of what you doing. Why you ain't here talking to my man? Right. No, because I respect you and I respect him, and we don't really have that. And some reason, for whatever reason, women think when men have a certain amount of power, it becomes more of a magnet. Let me just try him and try her and just see. Mm-hmm. And so that's a problem, but that's going to be a problem from now to the time Jesus comes.
You said it. I'm glad you said that, because it doesn't matter, in my view, and I'm glad you said it. It doesn't matter if you're the president, or it doesn't matter if you're just a common man. Yeah. Respect, or what's that guy's name? Respect.
Put some respect on it.
With
the K at the end. Put some respect on it.
It is what it is. Yeah. And as I said at the top of the hour, ladies, you've got to know that men compliment you. They don't define you. And if you allow that to happen, you then fall into this trap of, that's all you're concerned about.
That's all you're concerned, and you lose yourself. No, it's 100-100. We complement each other. It's not even 50-50, because and a lot of times women, and I'm not saying I'm better than thou. Mm-hmm. I have fallen into this trap. We believe that this man is going to bring me joy. This man's going to make me happy. This man going to fix me.
Right.
No, you got to be fixed already. You got to have a certain level of joy already. You got to come to that thing happy.
That's it.
And so what he's going to do is make me happier. He's going to bring more joy. But he can't fix me. He can't be my savior. And so many times we make our husbands our God. And we can't do that, because even with his best intentions, he's not ever going to be able to fill every little emotional cup that we have. So if you don't have something to stand for on your own, if you're not really letting God be that first and foremost husband, that man will forever fall short. He can't. No one can. He's not equipped to. He wasn't made to. And so you got to come you got to come into the picture already 100. You already got to come.
100.
If not, yes, you will forever be seeking something. You will forever have this issue of what he's not doing. Mm-hmm. He's not making me happy. He's not, you need to already come a little happy. You got to, because he's not going to make you happy.
Yeah. Girl, listen, we've run out of time. I can appreciate the conversation that we had, and I'm glad that you just came to share. Do you have any events that are coming up? I know you just did one yesterday. Mm-hmm. Anything else planned coming up in the near future?
Well, my biggest event coming up next is the Women Who Push. It's coming October 28th, and so that's going to be really great. Really exciting. Women Who Push. And again, it's all about encouraging and empowering and inspiring women to push beyond the limitations that we put on ourselves.
You said it. Will that be an open event?
Absolutely. It's going to be at the Stafford Center, and I would love to shoot you the information once we get everything solidified. Yes. And I would love
to be there.
Please do.
Women Who Push. Okay.
And that's, projectpush.org is the website for that. I'm like, what'd she say? Doing sign language in the back. So projectpush.org would be the website right now that people can stay tuned on that type of information. Yeah.
And I was just going to ask that, how do we keep in touch with you? But projectpush.org is how we can keep in touch with her. I think
and info at CleRenda McGrady if people have questions or anything of that notion.
Did y'all get that? That's info at CleRenda McGrady.
I'm sorry.
If you have any questions, either about she's doing. But let me just throw that out there. She said a little bit of it. She's a public speaker. Yeah. She's also a life coach, y'all. So if you're looking for someone to share, if you want to, and I hope I can say this, I'm going to throw it out there anyway. If you're looking to bring her on as one, hit her up at info at CleRendaMcGrady.com.
And real quick, we've passed the debt right now, but one of the things that we did yesterday was amazing. We gave away 7 scholarships.
Yeah, I meant to add that. To
some really deserving high school students. Was really happy this was the first year we were able to kick that off. Each student, I believe, received $2,500. And
really?
Yes, and so there were 6 or 7 different categories, and so categories like leadership, academic excellence, entrepreneurism, ministry and missions. And so it was really great. It was great to be able to bless those amazing young ladies.
How many of them did you say received you yesterday?
7. 6 were there, 7. We have a 7th one, so 7 total.
That's some, and you're giving back. You're giving back. And wish we could have talked a little bit more about that, but she said that event has passed. But what I did see of the advertisement, it really looked like it was going to be an exciting event.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's always exciting when some young women feel like they're getting some money, but you know the money is to benefit. So I think it's great. But do keep in touch with us.
Absolutely. It's
thanks
fun.
again.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, y'all. You know how we do it on Keep It Real. Coach Ray, in my other life. But you know, one of the things I try to do is bring information to you through individuals, through discussions, so that your life can be better for having heard it. And my prayer is this, that whatever has been said here today, or something you may have gleaned from today, hopefully you can take that and change your life. You know my motto, a changed mind equals a changed life. You can't change your behavior unless you change your mind. Can't change your mind, come on, unless you're doing something different, because Einstein said what? Insanity is, what's that again? Yeah, doing the same thing over and over the same way, and I'm paraphrasing, and expecting to get different results. It doesn't happen, people. It doesn't happen. So you heard it right here today with CleRenda McGrady. She shared with you her story. My prayer is that her story, something was said in that you can take away, and your life will be changed for having heard it. Hey, y'all, it's been great. It's been fun. And hopefully y'all will tune in Tuesday night on Celebrity Tuesday right here on KIRC Talk Radio, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then again, we've got a great show coming up Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. It's the Goulash Hour, where we talk about whatever comes up, but we are talking about what happened last week. It's a carryover, so y'all make sure you join us. Again, Christina, thanks, love. We've had a great time. And to the project manager?
Yes.
She had some company over here with her daughter, the project manager. Thank y'all for hanging out with us for this last hour, and appreciate it. Remember this, tomorrow we'll have this show available via our SoundCloud. If you go on our website, www.kirctalkradio.com, you can click on SoundCloud. If you want to hear this broadcast, if you're watching on Facebook, you can share this with your friends. That's fine. But if you just want to hear the audio, you can download it tomorrow on SoundCloud. All right, everybody? It's been great. It's been fun. Again, girl, thanks a lot for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Wonderful. Yay. All right, y'all. We out of here. Peace. Bye. And I'm going to go turn y'all off. Thank y'all for hanging in with me. I'm right in front of the camera. See y'all. Hey, y'all, thanks so much. I appreciate all of that. All right? Good.
Yay, that was good.
Girl, it was good. And she's a natural, isn't she?
Yes.
Okay, so I know you're getting ready to do something. You're a natural.
Natural what?
Like speaker. You're so confident. You're so calm, and it's like you've been doing this forever. And then didn't get tripped up at all. You know what you know.
You know what? I just think they're really just a God thing, because my natural, I'm a natural shy and quiet person. And so that's why when this whole thing started coming, I knew it was more of a God thing, because I'm the person I'm going to sit in the back of the room, don't look at me, don't ask me any questions, and I'd rather just miss out on the information than saying, can you repeat? Yeah. So that's why.
You have so much confidence exuding from you. It just comes around. I mean, on the